Good evening. I was going to say good morning then, but good morning, Blues. Let's try and manage to be a little bit cheerful as we build up for, one of the biggest games of the season, when we put everything right by sorting out Manchester and keeping it in tune. But welcome, Alan. How are you?
I'm better than I was yesterday, mate. I must admit.
Yeah. Ooh, I had a big meltdown yesterday. Thankfully, nobody saw it.
It wasn't good yesterday. I must admit, against Juve. I expected to get beat. I'll be honest with you. I didn't expect to win. I was on another show yesterday, and I did say my honest opinion. I just don't think. I quoted it. I said, without Rodri and without a proper CDM and without defensive issues and the amount of injuries that we've got, I could not see us winning another game till January. And I'm not far wrong. They've got 1 in 10. And I'm sorry if that hurts people, but it's true. We've conceded 10 games. We've conceded 25 goals in 10 games.
That midfield, man. I think everything that's wrong with this team is that midfield.
Well, defense they're not being able to play the same defense or midfield in continuous games.
The midfield is just bad right now. Like Gundo, oh man, I'm struggling to watch him play. Yeah. He looks.
I think there's a few of them, mentally and physically gone. And the one thing I don't agree with is I don't think it's lack of effort. I think there are players genuinely at the moment.
Was a lack of effort. I thought they were.
I think the legs have gone. Yeah, I think the legs have gone. I think we saw it when Mane left Liverpool.
Martin wants to change subject.
The competition. So please enter. Tickets cost $3.95 to win a fantastic Josko Gvardiol shirt, signed shirt, and we know Josko Gvardiol is pretty soon going to overtake John Stones as the best centre-back on the planet. Competition ends Wednesday, 18th December, 7:30. So get in there. And don't forget, if you don't get Gvardiol, you might get Ake or Akanji signed shirts also.
$3.95 per ticket, not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
And Dashmesh, if I'm pronouncing correctly, welcome.
Yeah. Thanks, Rich. Yeah, Dashmesh, correct. Yeah.
And how are you feeling?
Yeah. Good in personal life, not good in Man City life. But yeah, like I wasn't I wasn't expecting a win yesterday, but I was hoping we win yesterday. And as mentioned, the defense and midfield was all over the place again. Like not so great in attack, anyways, but like I expect defense and midfield to be much better than how it is right now. So yeah, good
I'm
enough.
just going to say this very quickly before I board my plane. Anyone racially abusing Carl Walker, get the fuck out of our fan base. You scum, get out. See you later. Alan, you talk a lot of waffle.
Disgusting. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. It's a game, people. It's just a game. It's football. Like,
and that's
you can criticize Kyle Walker without taking it personally. Just all you have to do is talk about is his performance. There's a lot of stuff you could cover there.
Yeah, it's out of order, and anyone racially abusing one of our own players, well, go support United. Anyone. Go support Liverpool. Yeah.
But I was having this discussion with someone about Kyle Walker the other day. The truth is, Kyle Walker has given his all to City. He's basically mentally and physically put himself in a place now where physically he's gone. He's run his body into the ground. Mentally, I think he's also struggling. But he has been for 6-7 seasons playing injured, playing whenever he's needed, playing at an intense level of football. Let's not forget just how good Kyle Walker was in so many games for so long. And honestly, I saw it with Sadio Mane at Liverpool, who was Liverpool's best player under Klopp for a lot of the time. And he ran himself, same sort of player, obviously attacking-wise, he ran himself into the ground. But Walker's basically given his all to City, and he's burnt out. And the only reason he's burnt out is because he's done what he's done for City under Guardiola to help City. He doesn't want to be not able to run properly, not have the legs to be in the mess he's in. But I think we've got to remember why some of these players are as they are. Same with Bernardo not being himself. Bernardo has run himself into the ground for City, a bit for Portugal, but for year after year after year of playing at an elite level, elite concentration, elite lifestyle, elite, fitness. And I think some of them have just, Gundo, Bernardo, Walker have run themselves into the ground. Some of the others like Stones and, Ake seem to have run themselves into the ground injury-wise. So there's no bad, nasty reason they've done this. They've done it for City. They've done it for us. And, honestly, if some of them, their careers are finished because they have run into the ground, then they deserve our support. And honestly, if we as a club didn't recognise when we did it, then, it's our fault as a club, not their fault that their legs have gone. We've got coaches, we've got doctors, we've got managers, we've got psychologists. We should have realised. So, and that's
it is. Yeah, club's fault. It's a club's issue.
Yeah, but everyone's saying, "Oh, we should have done it 2 years ago." We could have done, but then we might not have won the treble. We might not have won the quad. So, it has to be perfect. If you rebuild too early, you lose out. You rebuild too late, you lose out. So, in some ways, I think people just need to, accept what's happened. Except we've got the treble, we've got the quad. Now we've got a rebuild to do. It's not the fault of players who've got old. It's the club, but they've made nearly all their decisions right. So now we've got to rebuild and move on. And we've got to accept this season we're a normal football club with normal results. Like we were probably subnormal for the first 20 years of following, or 25 years of following City, but now we're normal. Most football fans never see their clubs win a trophy. Most football fans go into every game knowing they could win, lose, or draw. And I think we've just been spoilt for a few years where no matter what was happening, except against Real Madrid, it felt like we would win. Even if we're 2-0 down with 10 to go, we felt like we'd win. And that's just gone.
Yeah. Every time we go down 1-0, it's like everyone just gives up. I'm like, the team in the past never would have, last season wouldn't have given up at 1-0. We were down 1-0 quite a bit last season, and we came back in a lot of those games. And even early this season,
Cal, we don't have the players. We don't. Seriously, they're all injured.
The ones playing every day too are all out of form.
Yeah, they're playing with injuries, and if you're injured and you're playing a sport with injuries, you can never perform 100%. The injury goes worse, not better.
And
We've
and
not
it's
had,
not just about having one or two injuries. Like we have so many injuries. Like we
yeah.
all know about Rodri, but Kovacic is also not there, who would be our second choice, number 6, and he was doing
Yeah.
great as well when
Well,
Rodri went injured. Then we have a lot of injuries in defense, like continuous injuries. Akanji, Ake, Stones, everyone is injured. Like we can't forget that.
Yeah,
In attack, there was a certain time when Savio and Doku both were injured. Bob is already injured for half of the season. So we
Grealish.
have
Yeah,
been, yeah, we have been unlucky with injuries as well this season. Like
Yeah, gotta do stuff fixing
we
this.
should not miss that point as well, because if, let's say, half of these players were available, we wouldn't have been in this situation where we are now. So
What I'm
injuries
getting,
has been a big part.
yeah,
don't
the thing
forget,
that's the thing that's frustrating me is we're seeing that like a lot of these players who are playing every game are just not able to do what Pep wants them to do. Like Gundogan just cannot do that role right now. And I know he has
I think
to,
he
but
can't do.
at
Yeah,
some point,
he
when are
can't
we
do
going
what
to
he
try
wants
somebody
to do.
different?
Yeah,
That's what I'm
but
wondering.
we're
Like
limited
we're
though
already
in
losing. We're
terms
already
of.
losing all these games with like the veterans. Would it really hurt to put one academy kid in there? Just one, not all of them at once, but would it hurt to put one in?
I think Pep's attitude, in some ways, it's good. Is you've got to protect the kids when you're playing badly. Look. I think Rico Lewis is an absolute class player. I think he, in many games, has put more effort in and run further than anyone else on the team. And he's been playing right back, combined with CDM, combined with number 10. And we've seen him scoring goals. He's the first person getting the ball at the back. And he's getting abused. He's getting abuse off a lot of City fans. And that's a player who's been man of the match for England. He's been man of the match in the Champions League. He's been man of the match in the Premier League. He's, a class player, and he's getting abused. So if Pep goes and decides I'm going to put in Jacob Wright or I'm going to put in, McAtee, how are they going to get treated if Rico's getting treated like that? And if you do that to a kid, you can ruin their career. And so I think in some ways Pep's asking their older players to shoulder the responsibility.
Yeah. I'm just
And
surprised no changes have been made with 1 out of 10.
Yeah, huge thank you, Mark Fogg, for 10 channel memberships. That's absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much.
More than you believe. More than you believe, I'm happy.
Even if you want to protect a kid, though, like, can't you put Nunes in the midfield? Like, he's so worried about him losing the ball, but I'm like, the ball is already being lost by Rico and by Gundogan quite often. So would it hurt to try Nunes there?
I think Nunes has shown he's got more legs than anyone else. He's also probably put the best cross of the season in for City, so maybe they want him on the wing to try and.
It's good crosses in though. It's just Holland has gotten very lazy and won't make the runs anymore. So a lot of Doku's decent looking crosses just go nowhere because there's no one there to be at the end of them.
Kelso, no one wants City to win more than me and everybody else, right? We're all in the same situation. But when we lost Fernandinho when Liverpool won the league, right? We lost Fernandinho for quite a while in that season, and we were in the same situation. We were wide open. Look at the Champions League final against Chelsea. When he didn't play either of them. When he didn't play either of them, he played Gundo there, right? It was like please come through all the time until it changed it. The way our system works with Rodri, we've got the best number 6 in the world, but he's out for the season. Rich has been right for 3 years. He's been calling for a CDM, a backup CDM to be at the club, and unfortunately, the club has not done it. And it's the system that they play that they've got now Kovacic and Gundo playing the number 6 roles, and they're not. Both of them are number 8s. It's a fact. And this has been the problem. As soon as that person is not there who has presence, and Rico's played in there as well, and unfortunately he's only a very slight, small lad, we've had a problem. We've had a problem, and it's not changed. As soon as he went out of the team, we all went, "Oh no!" That's why I said what I said, because I realised we haven't got anyone to go in there and do that job well.
So do we just give the season up then? Because we don't have.
No, I'm not saying that.
I don't see any adjustments being made. That's starting to frustrate me.
They have got to enter the transfer window and buy a number 6 on the 1st of January, not the 29th of January, right? Or the end, the 1st of January. They should have someone lined up and signed in that position, because the people that are responsible for this are not the players, but it's the club, because they're not managed the situation.
They didn't buy well this summer.
The other thing that I think, is behind nearly all of this, and this is a form thing, and this is a thing that could turn around, is the amount of short, loose passes we do near the edge of the area, which result in a break. Now,
oh God,
there has been a big drop off in that, because ultimately, if we don't lose the ball, and I think De Bruyne was saying this the other night, if we don't lose the ball, the other team can't transition, they can't break. But we are losing careless, and it's De Bruyne did a couple, in the every game since he's been back. We've had other people doing these passes. Bernardo's done loads, and they weren't doing those in the past, and so that's creating this problem of the opposition getting the ball. And I think the opposition know that now, and they're being a bit more aggressive on the edge of their box to look for that break. And then they're away, and it's 3 against 2,
it's so easy to cut through,
4 against 2, and we're then having a pop at our fullbacks, but our fullbacks are normally, they're never going to be able to run down 20 yards behind. I think the one thing is that we're seeing that, because particularly Walker's legs have gone, is in the past he would have kept running even if he hadn't got there, and I think now there's almost this realization from Walker and Gundogan that we're not getting there, and I can't afford to try, because if I try, I'm going to lose the legs for the next run. And
so the two of them combined is a big problem. But they're the only ones who can stay healthy, which is frustrating.
Just a big thank you to Lee Gates for Super Chat, for wishing Martin a top break. Thank you, Lee. Sorry, Kels. And I've got a few more. Danny, thank you for gifting 10 Mancunian Way channel memberships. Fantastic, thank you.
More than you believe. More than you believe I'm happy.
So in light of all this, what do we, we've now got a real fight on our hands in Europe, and the two, I think a lot of European fans will say the two biggest, in inverted commas, or most successful of the oil clubs are going to almost be playing off, with a real chance either or City or PSG could drop out, which would just be absolutely incredible. But what do we do to something more important than Europe, and that is making sure we keep ourselves, firmly top of the tree in Greater Manchester. What do we need to do to make sure we beat United in what must be the lowest probably standard of derby in terms of the two teams, league positions, etc. since, I don't know, the 1980s or something. Could this be the 5-1 of 1989 brought back? Because both teams, United, are terrible. I mean, however bad we've been in these last 10 games, we're still looking down on them in the league. So, it's amazing to see we're going into this derby where neither set of fans are confident. And I don't think any of us know what's going to happen. So you're Pep. What do you do?
Can I go first?
Yep.
And if Kovacic is fit, I'd have him and Gundo in a double pivot, because we're having to play Guardiola on the left-hand side because Rico's out. So he'll play left full back. That means he's going to have to play Pusi in centre half because everyone else is injured with Diaz. So our defence is wide open again. Young kid playing in there. And he's going to have to play a double pivot and then KDB in front of them. Or if Foden's fit, Foden's got to come and play on the right-hand side for me. We just got to make sure we stop the transition, because what's United's main strength?
Yeah.
Pace.
Well,
pace.
Not very much at the moment.
Well,
the way they are.
Yeah, but if we play straight to their hands,
that way on Sunday.
Yeah, if we play straight into their hands and let them counter us with their pace, we're in deep trouble.
Oh, that hurts so bad.
It's true. It's true. Because all we did the other night and recently is pass ball square, sideways, backwards. That is all we are doing in the final third. We're not playing.
Yeah, the backwards passing is driving me insane.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Jack and Bernardo. Come on, man.
We created one chance, really, one chance against.
I think it's kind of shocking that our only creator is like a 33-year-old De Bruyne.
Exactly.
That is shocking.
Yeah, it's poor. It's poor. What do you think, Dash?
The trouble is, the more we,
Go on, Dash.
Yeah, no, I would still play Bernardo in this game because Bernardo usually plays well against big teams, and I won't play him in the midfield though. I will play him as a proper right winger, and I pray that Kovacic is fit to play this match, and I would have midfield of Kovacic, Gundogan, and De Bruyne. I think that would suit us to double pivot of Gundogan and Kovacic, and as a creative player, KDB would be perfect. And I would not play Foden because even though whenever he has played, he hasn't been great as well this year. So it's not just about injury with Foden. Like whenever he has played, he hasn't been great either. So I would still play Bernardo as a right wing, and left wing, Grealish, Doku, any one of them, I'm okay with it. I don't really have a preference at this point. I would rather prefer Doku because I don't expect GNA from Grealish. So I would rather play Doku and Haaland, obviously. So that would be my midfield going forward.
Yeah, now the one thing I'd try and get Foden in, because Foden just comes alive in derbies because he hates United.
He hates
them.
them.
And if anything's going to get Foden out of his flank, it's going to be a chance to get a goal against United, and that's what we need to remember, that the team, they're tired, they're mentally shot at the moment. But one thing, a few weeks ago, we went to Liverpool, they were too good for us, and we were a bit too, we felt a bit defeated before we went. But we're going to turn our season round by a win against a team like United that can at least get their heads up. And it's only 3 weeks now till the transfer window. So if they can get their heads up and get a couple of good, decent results in the meantime, stop the rot, get a couple of good results. There's some tough games. I mean, I think we've got Villa away, haven't we?
They're not so hot this year, though.
No, but I think we've got to get that win. And Haaland and Foden are the two players who love playing against United. So for me, we've got to get them in. I don't know how we deal with the midfield. I'm almost thinking, Gundo might need a rest if Kovacic is fit, and have.
He looks very leggy. There was a clip on him barely. He was like attempting to run, and he looked like he was walking in like fast motion. He just looked done.
But
I would
consider one at a time, guys.
I know nobody likes Nunes in the midfield, but like he has experience in a double pivot, and I think you need legs in that midfield right now, especially against United, who are going to be looking to counter. So I think this would be a game to throw him in the midfield. And if he loses the ball, you just have to live with it, because he'll be able to actually track back and get it.
Who will be playing in defence? So that's the other question, because I think who we play in midfield kind of depends on defence. Now, I'm assuming from the bench and the words out the club, it's only possibly Akanji who could be coming back.
Awesome.
But it looks like Stones and Ake are out for quite a bit longer.
Yeah.
So, because, you know, I do hope Akanji's back, because I do think that against Forest we looked better because we just put in 4 proper defenders in. And that meant when teams break, we had a proper defence back, even if the midfield was still a bit weak.
The problem is
the
problem is if he's not, if he's fit, when does he play? Fullback or centre half? Because you're gonna have to replace the fullback. Who do you play? Who do you play fullback? You play Guardiola. You're gonna have to.
Yeah, Vardiol's gonna have to play left back. There's nobody else, unless you wanted to go back to Bernardo being a left back.
It's gonna be a situation. So yet again, we're going to have a different defense. Every single game has been a different defense.
Yeah,
and that's there's no stability in the team. There's none, zero.
Yeah, and I think we have to go Lewis right back then, because I just think
he's suspended.
He's suspended.
He's suspended. So it's got to be Kyle. Yeah.
I think he needs that break too. That should help him out mentally a little bit to not. Yeah, because he is taking a lot of abuse, unfortunately. So having this game off, I think, will help him mentally.
We've got Martin to come in with his team news that Johnny Stones is 100% fit. He's back.
No, I've got no team news. I've just been delayed. Why is it always when I go away I get delayed? No, listen, I understand people wanting 1st of January and all that. Like I said, it's not that easy. I wish it was. They are trying. People are going to want certain names. Like the right back they're looking at will send shivers down everyone's spine. It's like, he's not good enough. He's not good enough. Well, you're not going to get. You're not going to get. You're not getting Frimpong in January, because the Leverkusen are not going to sell their best right back in January while they're still in Europe. You've seen the stuff today about Zubermenda. He has concerns about what happens with his spot when Rodri's fit. This is the problem. You can bring someone in for 6 months. And I know, Alan, you want someone on the 1st of Jan, I get it. But the trouble is, the selling club have to have their replacement lined up by that date as well. They're not just going to sell someone and have no one ready to come in at the other end. It's like buying a house. You know, if one part of the chain breaks down, the whole deal can break down. And that's the problem we've got. And if it is Kyle Walker-Peters, it's Kyle Walker-Peters. But right now, as all the reports said today, to get 3 or 4 players in, 2 or 3 have to go. And we are not going to cancel contracts. We're not going to do that. We're not just going to cancel someone's 2-year contract or pay them off because it goes in our PSR box. And we've got one of the highest wages in the land.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem. Yeah. And
this is the thing people are not saying. Exactly. You know, next season you've got the anchor coming in. You can only spend 70% of your turnover. We've got the highest wage bill. You've got to get that down. So you need buyers for these so-called players that are done. This is the problem. It's just let's get 3 or 4 in. It's easier said than done. A lot easier said than done. But you can't just cancel Walker, because Walker's on what, 200 grand a week? Can't just pay up 2 years of a contract on 200 grand a week and take the hit, and then you do it with Stones, and then you do it with Grealish. You're at 30, 40, 50 mil before you've even finished, and you've not bought anyone.
Don't talk about John Stones like that, man. Stones is staying.
No, but you know what I mean, don't you, Rich?
Like 10 games a season.
Yeah, just
Stones is on a $250,000 a week.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, Nunez' contracted till 2028. He's got 6 years. He's got like 4 years left. Obviously, it's 3 years left. It's not that easy. Edison's down tools because his bottom lip's hanging out.
Yeah, it was poor at midweek, wasn't it?
It's what it is. There's nothing you can do. But I know people are frustrated and they're hurt. It's just, this is a game of patience right now. It's a game of patience. That's all it is. And I know it's hard to admit that, but we've just got to be patient and get through it. Hopefully, you get Kovacic and Foden back. And it is what it is, but it's crazy at the minute. Players having to be forced off social media because they're getting everything. Criticise them for football, but it's getting way over the top now. Way over the top. What's going on?
Well, and I think people are forgetting. People are forgetting the only reason that someone like Walker is shot is because he's given his all for City, and we've taken every ounce of, in the last 7-8 years, we've taken every ounce of mental, physical, and everything else energy out of some of these players. And when they're gone, it's because they've given it all bleeding blue. And, they don't deserve then to be turned around and just, decimated by fans. It's not wrong to say that Walker's legs have gone. He needs to come out of the team. But that's because he's given it all for City. And he deserves to be able to, lose a bit of form, get old without, we don't go and beat up our grandparents because they get old and they can't, remember quite
Alan
as much.
Alan does. He's old yellow. Takes him out back, shoots him. I'm only joking.
That's what I'm struggling with the Walker stuff is like, it's clear he's breaking down and he's not at his best anymore, but I'm really just disappointed that this is the last thing we're going to remember about him when he was outstanding for this club for like 6 or 7 seasons. And
the rest.
People are just like forgetting about that, casting it aside. And they're just like, well, he was crap. It's like, no, he was awesome for this club for a long time.
Yeah.
And
he's
allowed to decline.
You've just got to remember that. That's the truth. You've just got to remember the good stuff. I mean, like, I don't remember the yah-yah of, his legs have gone with Pep. I remember the yah-yah of 2011, 2012 when, he was the best player in the country by a country mile at times, along with David Silva. But I remember that. I remember peak company, not calf-injured company. I mean, we just got to think we gave Walker one contract too long. And, that's our fault, not his. But for 7 years, he was the one who could run down Vinicius, put Mbappe in his back pocket, get back and save us time and time again to help us win 4 leagues, which no one else has ever done. And the fact that doing that has mentally and physically shot him, well, he did it for us and he did it for getting the quad. If the players hadn't played that hard, they hadn't run themselves into the ground, they hadn't mentally, been as obsessed as they were, we wouldn't have done what we did.
I'm sure they did get this. I don't remember Yaya getting this amount of hate coming out of the club. Zabaleta getting this amount of hate coming out of the club.
I don't think social media was as prominent back then. Like Twitter wasn't really as crazy as it is now.
I would seriously ban every player. Not like this, Rich. Not like this. It's
not like this.
I would ban every single player off social media. I'd ban them.
Yeah. Pretty smart.
You're right, Martin. I think he's absolutely smart. Yeah. If I was playing for the club, there's no way I'd have social media.
Yeah, it's an angry world though now. I mean, it's not. If you go compared to 6-7 years ago, the world's an angrier place. Politics is angrier. People, we've had quite a few years of, relative poverty, COVID, and everything else. So human beings are just angrier. You didn't, see people tearing each other down and about, whether vaccines work or not. All this stuff wasn't going on like it is today. We're just an angry world. Angry politicians, angry world. And,
so true.
Yeah. And it's football.
I'm just putting my coffee order in. Like you said, this is a great point. Like Big Steve said earlier, Walker's been playing with an injury that no one knows, and he's not the only one. Kanji has. Kovacic was playing with a broken toe for 3 weeks that no one knew about. This is what we're having to do.
I was going to say, as much as I want a Kanji back on Sunday, I kind of would rather him just get healthy. Well, I know that's what I would.
This is part of the problem. Because we're in such a desperate measure, we're rushing players back who are not fit. And then they get more injured when they're playing.
And they're getting injured again.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
and
like
you know,
Kanji.
this is
That's how
one thing.
Kanji got injured. Kanji was never fit from that calf injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one thing that
First game,
we've
that's what started
always
this
been
whole thing. Ooh.
we've always been really good at that. And I remember, you know, sort of 10, 15 years ago, Liverpool ruined about 6 players because they kept playing him injured. Torres was, you know, the former striker of world football, and he'd get injured, and Liverpool thought we can't play with that, and they'd bring him back. They did it with Owen, they did it with Fowler, and they ruined, you know, those three strikers, all total world-class strikers, all got ruined by Liverpool playing them injured. And it is a bit worrying that we're, because of desperation and the same thing, we're risking doing that now. And we never have. We've been brilliant at that for year after year after year, and we're now slipping into that habit, and that's a bit scary because it really
Oh, delusion's back. There he is.
Thank you, Tone.
Alan, you only do this because you've been on LB show, so you've got to push the LB agenda around now.
This is my thoughts, mate.
Damn it! I spoke to you privately, and this was not your thoughts.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
This is all I know.
Martin, I spoke to him privately, and he was telling me how much he's enjoying watching Bury play this season.
I'm watching Bury as well.
I know what it is, Rich. The Mancunian way's too small for Alan now.
Oh! Where are you anyway? What are you doing at Manchester Airport?
I'm not at Manchester, I'm at Heathrow.
Oh, yeah. Where are you going?
We're going to Prague. Well, I was going to Prague, it got delayed.
Oh.
I'm jealous. No, not jealous, mate. Very separate channels.
I've been to Prague. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great city. So where are you watching the derby?
I'll be home by then. I'll land at 4 p.m. Sunday.
Right.
So you rush back.
Oh, like right when it kicks off.
Yeah, I'm not going to the game. I'm not going to the game.
Airport.
Yeah.
Heathrow Airport.
Land back in Manchester.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Oh, you're delayed, mate, because I missed it.
No. So what's the so we've got the team tactically, apart from stopping those rags breaking against us. How are we going to keep ourselves kings of Manchester? Because that's what this is about. We've all got the pre-derby tension coming in.
Yeah.
How we get Martin's even having to leave the country because of the pre-derby tension.
No, yeah, he is. God. He is. Disgraceful.
I predicted a win this morning, so I'm sticking with a win. I don't have a score prediction. I'm just predicting a win.
I pray to God you're right, Kel, because it's the 2 games you want to win.
Putting my reputation on the line.
Yeah.
I went on this whole rant about how bad City were, and then Mo was like, "Who's gonna win on Sunday?" I was like, "City."
One thing I will say, because I'm about to jump Ollie Rich back in charge. If we get beat by the Rags, then I'll say it's a crisis. If getting beat by them is a crisis when they're complete and utter shit.
I think it could be 5-1. I think we bring the kids in, go for the 1989 tactic.
Yeah.
Listen, this could be like 2003 when we had no Dunn, no Howard, and we brought in Lucien Matomo and Gerard Vikings at the back. And we swamped them.
Yeah. Why don't we just give him an all 6-1 again?
Well,
I guess we'll save that for later.
I'd take 1-0. I'd take 1-0 at the minute. No, mine's 6-1.
I'll take a clean sheet. Thanks very much. It'd be a miracle if you do.
I will take the 3 points. I would beg our own steal for 3 points.
Yeah.
Two games. Martin will know this is so rich. Is it 2 games a season? We just got to beat United, and that's it for the season. I'll take that this season.
Hang on, we weren't winning a game till 2027 5 minutes ago, according to you, Alan.
Well, mate, I still don't think we'll win till January, mate.
If we can't beat Everton and Leicester, then there is a crisis, Alan. Jesus, yeah.
Mate, I think Luke, one win in 10. We're already at that stage, pal. Sorry, but we are.
We need
behave, Alan. Behave. The crisis is like relegation.
We've conceded 25 goals, mate. in 10 games. In 10
No,
games.
it's not a crisis. Come on, Alan. You've lived long enough to see worse than this.
Oh, I know that. I know that.
So how was that not a crisis? And this is.
We're up, we've set the bar though. Big Steve was right the other night. We have set the bar high.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We have to win though. Like against United, we have to get a win because next game is against Villa, and I'm not as confident as against Villa, but we have to win against United. Like players need to be up for it because, like in the last game against Juventus, we were playing okay in the first half, but we were not quick enough. We were not playing quickly through the lines. We were just so slow and passing around within our team itself. Like we need to be up for it. We need to go for the win. Like it is much needed because we can all be okay with one win in 10, but players need to get off with a win now because they know tough fixtures are coming in as well, and it will be every 3 days. So we need to get a win by any. I don't care about any scoreline, 1-0, 2-1, 3-1. I don't care. We need to have a win this weekend, especially against United, because we are forgetting that they are 13th as well. It's not like they are playing well; they are playing bad as well, even worse than us. So we need to have
their record since Big Jim took over is shocking. It's about, I think it's less than 1.5 points a game.
Can I just say, I do need to shoot, but I'm just going to remind everyone. Do you know why I don't call it a crisis? And everyone will go, oh, recent time. I'm going to give you to recent times. Go back to Pep's first season. We finished 3rd or 4th, 1-0, got smashed away at Everton 4-0, smashed away at Leicester 4-1. We were getting smashed everywhere. So that wasn't 20 years ago. So, and that was just simply because the squad had aged out. And in the summer, we went and spent a load of money and bought Edison and bought Ben Mendy, and we bought Bernardo Silva, and we bought Walker. So we've been here before. This is why, to me, it's not a crisis, because we've been here under Pep. This is not new under Pep. The 1 in 10 is, but it was, well, you know what I mean, Dash? It was in his first season. We got smashed. I was at Goodison Park. We made Tom Davies look like a bloody Lionel Messi. So, I get it. It's one win in 10. But in January, we may go on a 15-game unbeaten run. And then we're not saying it anymore. So, to me, I've just got to let the season play out before I'm like, we're in crisis.
We are not going on a run, Martin. Have you seen our fixtures in January and February?
You never know. Hey, we said we weren't winning the league last season. Remember, in February, we weren't winning the treble. We weren't winning the league in January last season. Nobody backed us to win the 9 games on the bounce last season, if you remember. And we did.
No, we've got to get rid. Is that correct as well, Martin? If we buy someone in January, a CDM or whoever, right, they're not allowed to play in the Champions League until the knockout stages. Is that correct?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think the
but I don't think it will matter.
Yeah.
So in theory, we had Bruno. He couldn't play the PSG or the Bruges game. If we signed.
Yeah, I agree. We're in a real shit period.
We need to have 1 win out of 2.
I don't care about the Champions League. I think our chances for that ended on September 22nd. So I'm just like, get rid of I don't want to play the extra games. I don't care if we don't make the playoff.
That's one thing.
No, it wasn't the match. Wasn't Dash, by the way.
Yeah.
If you remember, we bought John Stones, and John Stones gave the ball away at the byline, and I'm sure Jamie Vardy walked it in the net. If you remember, Gob, it was when we bought John Stones, Dash. It was Pep's first season. We got smashed at the King Power.
Yeah,
and we got smashed a few places that year, actually. We'll be fine. We'll spend 800 million in the summer. We'll be all right. Don't worry.
Some people don't believe that we're going to do that.
That's if we're allowed to spend that kind of money.
But that's what I mean. Listen, we get pinged on 115, Alan. Then it's a crisis, mate. Then I'll back you on the crisis when we're playing bloody Accrington Stanley.
Accrington Stanley, yeah.
I'll tell you
Make
what,
your Wanderers.
I'll fly home for Oxford home and away.
Right, and we ain't winning 3 in a row. Do you know what? I've heard all this before. I heard it in the treble season. I heard it last season when we were finished. And then you never write these boys off. I'm not saying we're winning the league, but we'll finish top 4. I'll bet anyone money we finish top 4.
I think we will too. We
I
have
still
really good
believe-
end of the season fixtures. They're not that terrible. So we can't. If we go on a run late in the season, it may not be winning the league, but I think that it'd be enough to get us top 4.
Tells you how crap the rest of the league is when we've got 1 winning 10 and we're still like, only 8 points off the top. This is crazy.
The Arsenal are catchable and they will drop points. We can catch them. You have to look at it a little step by step.
Okay, Alan, he's proper giving up, hasn't he? Alan's giving up the ghost. He's going back to Chelsea.
I never was at Chelsea. So don't give to. I've got friends who are Chelsea fans who are reminding me non-stop.
That's a good point.
They think they're going to win the league. Chelsea fans here.
Oh God.
Exactly.
Liverpool fans don't want any pressure. They're doing anything to avoid the topic. I've heard some Arsenal fans be like, "We're winning the league," and then other ones are like, "No."
No, it's
So look at that. Alec Johnson's my man. He's my boy. Anyway, right, I'm going to shoot. You're all legends. Thank you for coming on. I'll see you all Sunday night. I'm going to leave it in the capable hands of these 4 people. Very, very knowledgeable people. Keep smashing the likes. I'll see you all Sunday night.
Martin, enjoy your flight and your
Enjoy
weekend,
Prague.
mate.
Yeah.
Post some food pictures on Twitter.
How the hell do I get out?
That's all I do.
How do I get out?
It's down forever.
Hang on, Alan. You might be having a chat with the steward. That's like you did. Hang on. What?
Somebody's coming to join.
I think he's going to go. He won't be able to help himself. He'll be in the air, paying for the Wi-Fi.
Oh God.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he won't be able to help himself. No way.
I don't know how those European ones work. The stuff here is kind of crappy.
Michelle, I hope you're right. I really pray to God.
You got the Wi-Fi. Oh no.
Yeah, but I don't know about depressed and despondent. I think it's just, I don't know. I think it's just a reality check. I think some of our fans got carried away that we could just go on forever and win 5, 6, 7, and our players would just, miraculously keep going, or we'd sign the perfect replacement at the exact time. It's never that easy. It's never that easy.
Are they talking about Walker Peters as a fullback? Is that what they're saying at the moment?
Not that I've heard. I made a joke about that, but
are these two? He made smaller than Sean Wright Phillips. Please do me a favour.
Yeah.
Oh
well,
my God. Martin says yes.
Yeah.
Smaller than Sean Wright Phillips, for God's sake.
This goes back like about, we were talking about that on this show at the very beginning, 3-4 years ago. I remember talking about Carl Walker Peters. I'd forgotten he even existed. But we've got, the thing is, we've got to find. You see, I think we've got to go big on one midfielder, and we can take the chance on that. We can take the chance on the wages and not selling and everything. But as Martin said, to sign 3, that's when you need to get some players out.
I don't think
we
3.
need one big.
But I think we can fit one in easy enough.
If we get one midfielder, I think that helps a lot, because we can plug and play other players in there. Because Jack has only played in the midfield 2 games, so if he does that for 4, 5, 6 more games, he'll get his rhythm back, and I think he'll perform much better. And then if you add that next to a big body, potentially a Bruno Guimaraes, wink wink, maybe, that would be huge, because those are 2 big physical bodies. And then and Oscar Bob is coming back. I think I don't want to put too much pressure on him, but I am very excited to see what he does because he was so good in preseason. And I saw one of the games in America. I went to the New York game and I just really liked what I saw. So I want to see what he can do.
He looks special. So we
I guess
we
he's the
need
academy kid. We'll see play this year, and I want to see Echeverry too. Like, I know that's going to be tough.
That's
but
hard
it'll be
work
tough,
coming
but-
from. Although
If Bruno is available for $75 million in January and we don't sign him, something's wrong. I don't think he is, but I was just
do you know what though? I wouldn't be surprised if they've got the need to sell, then he may be available a bit cheaper than we think. And to be honest, I think we need to. So I don't think we've got much of a choice. I think we have to sign a midfielder who's going to be able to bring some physicality and some fight and some legs into the team. And given that it's all about getting top 4 in this season, the World Club Championships, we need to have that player able to hit the ground quickly. So to me, I think we've got to sign them from a Premier League team.
Yeah, and for Bruno G, I don't think money should matter, even if it's 80 or 90 million. And if we can get him, we have to get him, because let's say we don't get him for 10 extra million, but we don't qualify for Champions League, it will be like we'll get even less money then. So I don't care if it's 85, 90 million, we have to get Bruno G if we can get him. So because we need players, because if we see our fixtures for January and February, we need players like Bruno G and Oscar Bob back. Like we say no pressure, but actually there's a lot of pressure for our fixtures. So like we need some goals. Apart from Haaland, we don't get a lot of goals from all of our other wingers. We don't get goals from our midfield. Like currently, like Kevin De Bruyne can get us goals, Foden can get us goals, but they haven't yet. So we need them to score some goals and give some assists as well. So we need Bruno G.
Yeah, I think so. And I think we could, defensively, I think we need another body in defence as well. But if we can't buy because we've got salary, we should go to Norwich and see if there's a way out on the Tommy Doyle loan or something, and get another player back, because part of the problem is we are a body short in defence, and that's why we keep having to play Kenji injured or Walker when he's not fit, because we haven't got enough players to play.
What about bringing Laporte back?
Oh, that's a shout.
Laporte should, I mean, I always
I don't mind. I don't
thought
mind.
he should never have gone. I thought he was absolutely top class player.
He got shut
Never
down.
have gone
and
never have gone to Saudi. Never have gone to Saudi at least.
Yeah.
Like
I still to this day cannot believe that teams like Real Madrid didn't want him, because he was up there in the top 5-10 defenders in the world.
If I'm not mistaken, he was sat on the platform when we lifted the league title again, and he was crying.
He was crying. I don't think he wanted to leave. I think he really liked City. It's just
he didn't want to leave. He loved it. He loved it there.
I think sadly, I think we're going to see him somewhere like Madrid.
Yeah, I think we're going to see him go for it. Yeah, I think we'll see him at the top 2 seasons in a row with Militao.
Yeah. Well, I'm ready for this weekend, Rich, because I'm going to watch the Bury game and I've got my Bury polo shirt on. So I'm ready for this weekend.
I vote for Tommy Doyle.
Yeah, he's looking good, and the player we'd love now is Bellis. If only we'd been loaning him out. His ability to play, game after game and be fit.
I actually have to go. I gotta log on to work, so I'll let you guys finish up. But bye.
Yeah. Well, we said we were going to do an hour today, so we'll probably be finishing fairly soon. But not that I know how we actually close it down. If we all leave, does it just stay there hanging?
I don't know, because he'll be in the middle of the air, won't he? So he's on the plane now.
No, he said he'll probably be ready to switch it off before as he sits on the plane. He'll be there.
Yeah.
turning it off as he goes. But no, I mean, I'm just trying to get used to just being a normal football club again, and being old. I honestly, I'd almost made peace with myself as in my 20s that if we won an FA Cup and I saw us win an FA Cup, that would be enough for me. That would be my football career complete. And so when I flew back from Australia to watch us win the FA Cup in 2011, it was like that was kind of, that's going to be complete football. And then everything that's happened since has been crazy. But I do worry that I think there's so many Arsenal, United, Liverpool fans who just don't enjoy football because they only like it for the winning. And when they're not winning, they're moaning and angry and trying to find, there must be an excuse why we're not winning. Someone's cheating, they're spending too much money. And I don't want City fans, I don't want our fan base, I don't want us to turn into that, because your average supporter of an average team, they're lucky if they get a cup every 20 years.
I've got
loads of mates who support good Premier League clubs, and they've not seen their clubs win anything for decades. And I just think we've got to. I don't think we'll get like that again because I think we've got too many good players, too great an academy that will be back. But we have to accept that teams aren't just winning machines forever, and you've got to enjoy it when you're coming third, when you're coming eighth, when you don't win something, because that's what football's about. Your mates, your family, go out of the game, having a laugh. Winning's fantastic, but it's always about something more than that.
And it's not just and it's not just about having having good players. I think it's more about the philosophy of the owners. Like the owners wouldn't want our team to not win for like years and years continuously. They might be okay with 1 or 2 years we not winning like anything. It's not like just Premier League, but if we don't win anything for 2-3 years, our owners would try to win something. They won't be like it's okay, let's just finish in top 4, let's just go to semifinals and they'll be okay. Our owners want to actually win. So I don't think there will be a situation that like how it's happening with Arsenal right now. They haven't won like 20 years without a league. So I don't think our owners would accept something like that. So we will be back. If we are not winning this year, we might win it next year, we might win it the year next later. So I think we will be back. It's just like it's bad luck. We had a lot of injuries. We have a lot of injuries this year. Then Liverpool is playing great as well. It's not like our competitors are playing bad as well. Liverpool is doing great. They have a huge difference at the first place as well.
Yeah, and Liverpool have got to cash in now because Liverpool could easily, for everything, Salah's playing wonderfully, but he is not going to be playing wonderfully like that in 4 years' time. He's going to decline. Van Dijk is going to decline or possibly leave. And, Salah might get offered life-changing money near his home. You don't know what's going to happen. Trent thinks he's going to win the Ballon d'Or as a non-defending fullback, and so he's made for Madrid. He's made for Real Madrid, isn't he? So Liverpool could have, they've got to cash in now because they could have a crisis in 1 or 2 years' time where
next year
players, because Van Dijk's every bit as important to Liverpool as Rodri is to City. I think Salah's every bit as important as De Bruyne is to City. I'm not sure that Trent is, but he thinks he is. So they've got problems. I mean, the one club I worry about the most at the minute, to be honest, is Chelsea because they're all about 22 and they're starting to look good. And
Rich, don't forget, pull it with the membership for 7 months.
Putty, thank you very much. 7 months membership. Thank you very much. Yeah, so it's they've got things coming, but I guarantee you if Chelsea start looking really good, there'll be more charges than 130 after Chelsea. They'll be like Chelsea will be getting like 1-1-1-5 charges from everything that's been going on under the years. But because as soon as they're a threat to United, Liverpool, Arsenal, they'll be after Chelsea. Because
I believe we've got our charges higher now. It's 130, not 115.
Yeah, it has been for quite a long time. That was about 6 months ago. But the Times put it in the paper last week like it was new news to try and make it all exciting, like they'd charge us with some extra things. But no, it was just that's always been there.
And now that the hearing is over, it doesn't really matter if it's 115, 130, 150. It doesn't really matter because most of the charges are very similar. So if we are guilty, we would be guilty for like 50, 60 charges altogether. If we are innocent, we'll be innocent for all of those. So it doesn't really matter. So,
But I think the problem is going to be that even when some of these things, even if they find us guilty, there might not be any advantage because that. Say Etihad, it's fair value tested, so therefore we could. It's been tested. It's fair. It isn't an advantage. So, all of this stuff then just becomes about administration or things like that, and so there's no advantage. There's no damage. So then you think, even if they find something, they'll probably just fine, which will really get the other fans going. Because
I want to see them try it on with Etihad, accuse them of fraud. Because they'll take the Premier League. Etihad itself will take the Premier League to court.
Yeah, if they know it's wrong, then there'll be parties who might not be involved who might be able to indeed. But first and foremost, we've got to get 5-1 before 1-1-5 against United this Saturday. I think we'll win. But I have thought we're going to win every derby I've ever watched, so it doesn't necessarily count for good because I was convinced we're going to beat United because we're good, they're evil.
Exactly.
Simple.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree.
Like this comment, Haaland hasn't been good. Haaland hasn't been great, but he hasn't been bad either. I would rather because Haaland has missed two one-on-one chances in two last matches. So next time Haaland gets a one-on-one chance, he needs to score because right now we are not getting much chances, and if he misses, then it's very difficult to create more of those chances. So Haaland should bag the next goal he gets a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think we should wrap up shortly if anyone's got any thoughts, so that Martin can switch us off as he taxis down the runway. So how are you feeling? I think we're going to win this weekend, but I always do, so that might be delusion. But I think it's a derby like I've not seen for decades in terms of the two teams' relative form, league position, etc. So it's a game with there's a lot of jeopardy on the line for both teams. Ruben's not had a good start, and another home defeat to Sky Blue team who want Chris Wood would be terrible for them, and for us 1-11, that's pretty shocking. So it's certainly going to be a tense derby. It's going to be a very different derby than we felt for a few years. A bit more edge to it, probably more important as well than many derbies for a few years.
Yeah, I think we'll. I'm praying for a win.
Thank you, Bash.
I'm praying for a win and pray to God we do win, because it's against these bastards from down the road, and I can't bear the thought of losing to them. Just pray to God that happens.
I think we will get a win as well, but I think it will be a goal scoring match. I just have a feeling that it won't be like a 1-0 or 2-1 game. I think both teams will score in this match because both teams' defense are not great at this moment. So and I hope we win. So I'll predict like a 4-2 win. I think it will be goals this weekend. So
We're
I'll
not
say
keeping a
4-2.
clean sheet. We're not keeping a clean sheet, are we?
Yeah,
Eh?
yeah, and we definitely
Yeah.
need to score 3 or 4 to win. So I'll predict
Yeah.
4 to win for us. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll win. I think
Marty said cut
we'll
off
find
because
our,
he's gonna,
we'll find our
yeah.
shooting boots. So we all think we're going to win, and we're all going to be right. So good night, everyone, or good morning for those of us off to work now. Have a wonderful weekend, and let's really smash these Rags this weekend. Let's make sure Manchester is blue, and it's not just the blue of Nottingham Forest.
Yeah. Cheers, boys. Bye, guys.
Cheers.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.